What's up, everybody? It's Joneser here, and we've got another Masters of the Universe Origins figure to unbox here. We actually got a figure and a vehicle. I'm pretty lucky here. We got the Mekaneck and Ground Ripper. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's Joneser, your favorite comic book guy.
Let's do this.
All right, now we've got this fantastic toy to unbox, but before we do that, I'd like to ask everybody, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty of Masters of the Universe content. We've also got some comic book content. If you scroll down in the video history, I'd like to get back to doing some comic book videos sometime soon, but I'm just buried in Masters of the Universe stuff, trying to collect the Origins and the Masterverse line at the same time. It's been, whoa, I got a lot of figures I still got to open up. The Big Bad Toy Store boxes are piling up. I am behind, baby, behind. I've also been trying to do Superpowers figures here too, and I've got those piling up too, and so it's a good problem to have. Lots of comics and lots of toys and lots of stuff I'd like to share with you guys and show, but anyway, for today, we're going to stick with Ground Ripper. All right, folks, I'm excited for this one today. This is a figure that I've been really hoping to see even really early on in the Motu Origins run here. Mekaneck is a much beloved figure. There isn't really a lot for me to get into as far as his history, as I don't know much of any other than he was the human periscope figure. I do have a vintage one here handy and a vintage Road Ripper. You know, it was the Road Ripper back in the day, not the Ground Ripper. I guess there's some kind of copyright issue for why they can't use that name. But anywho, we'll check out this box art here. And as you can see, we got Mekaneck here, you know, riding this baby. In the artwork, he looks awesome here in box. I can't wait to get him out. It looks like we will not have the action feature. There's an extender piece for the neck, so that's kind of disappointing. And there's a alternate head for the Ground Ripper. Flip this package around, but here on the sides, there's really not a lot to it. When we flip the box around this way, it looks like we've got a fantastic artwork here. It's kind of an homage to the original card back from Mekaneck, from the original Masters of the Universe line. And if we get up over here, it looks like we've got King Hiss and Tongue Lasher. He's kind of spying on them. And then there's an Eternia there in the background. So very cool. Looks like we got the action features here where you swap to extend the neck, which is kind of disappointing. You can replace with the second mantrol, they call it. Okay, whatever. And then real racing action. Yeah, you're just going to push it with your hand. The old one had a rip cord where you pull it in there and that thing would zip across your kitchen floor. As a kid, I remember doing that. Me and my sister had hours of fun. Anyway, we'll open this guy out of the box. All right, here's our Mekaneck out of the box, and he is looking snazzy. I really like the look of his eyes here on his mask piece. So very cool looking, almost reflective. I don't know if you guys can see that, but very, very neat. This guy looks slick. I'd say the Ground Ripper here, it feels very lightweight, and it's very cool. This alternate head, I'm not really sure what to make of this. This isn't really hitting me in any kind of nostalgia buttons there, but, you know, decent extra piece, I guess. Mekaneck's little beat and stick weapon, very, very cool, very reminiscent of the vintage. And his little neck extender piece leaves me kind of underwhelmed. It would have been nice, instead of this alternate head, maybe to get like the classics had, where they had a bigger extending neck piece. But, you know, I digress. You know, he's got all the Motu Origins articulation that the vintage figure didn't have. But speaking of a vintage Mekaneck figure, I just happen to have one here. And here he is with his, mine is a little rough. The paint's got some wear, and this guy's been loved, and he's seen a lot of Eternian battles. But there's one thing that my vintage Mekaneck can do that this new one cannot, and that is if you twist his waist, his neck will extend. Pretty cool. And he can right back down. So pretty awesome. Whereas this newer one cannot do that. What we'd have to do here to make him do the same thing is I have to pop this, head off, and then put this extender piece in here. That is tight. Maybe I got it on. And then pop them on. Bars. There we go. There is Mekaneck, which I guess you can get them in some different poses that the other one couldn't do, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. I guess I would have preferred to have the action feature, but that's just me. But one thing I wanted to show you that a lot of people didn't know about the vintage Mekaneck and his weapon, which this looks like a club, but check this out. You go like this, and you put this thing in his hand like that, and look at that. It's I spy with my little eye telescope deal, like a looking glass. And you could never line it up, because of just the way it was. But I bet with this new one and his modern day articulation that I can make him look through the looking glass, or maybe not. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, not really, but better than the other one did if he wants to look at the ground. Hey, look, hey, check it out. Did anybody lose a contact lens? Anyway, I bet a lot of people didn't know that. Anyway, we'll get him back into normal mode, or if you can be normal for having a robot neck. But I always thought this weapon was a pretty cool little beating stick. I mean, well, bam! You wouldn't want to mess with this guy, In 2000X, they kind of made fun of him, like his powers were kind of lame, which, I don't know, maybe they are. As his neck extends so he can look at stuff. But, I mean, what better would you want for a lookout or a scout? That's the power. That's what it would be. So, moving on to this ground ripper here. Very lightweight. Rolls real well. And it's got the seatbelt like the old school one had. And an alternate head. It's not really much to it. We'll put them in it. Get him in there. Get the little seat belts on him there. This has got to buckle up for safety. And I don't know if he can reach the controls or put his feet on the pedals. Or there we go. Mekaneck rolling into town. That's right. I be rolling. They hating. Don't catch me riding dirty. But these old road rippers here that I got is a little heavier, but there was an action feature on this thing. Never mind my little homemade screw seatbelt deal. But you could put a rip cord into this hole here, and then when you pulled it, this thing would zip across your kitchen floor at the speed of snot. And let me tell you, as a little kid, that was really cool. And this one, well, this will roll across your kitchen floor as fast as you can push it. So I guess there's that. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Mekaneck and the Ground Ripper or Road Ripper. You know, quite honestly, I think this new head on this thing sucks. We'll put him in the old schooler. Yeah, that is better. So anyways, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you guys can find one. I got mine off of Big Bad Toy Store, which they are already sold out. A lot of people passed on it at first because it was an international release, but there's no comic in it anyway. So, you know, what's it matter? Anyway, Jones are out.